business. Yeah, I'm on. Girl, are you sure you can? All right. Good morning. Welcome to the Urban Heat R&B Talk on a Tuesday. It's Super Bowl week. Rich Sports is in the building. My name is Steve Gooseby. Thanks for tuning in as always, y'all. We got a great show for y'all today. Rich, you ready for the Super Bowl, man?
Oh man, every day, man, it's building up, man, Steve. I'm telling you, man, as the days get closer, the anxiety is building for this game, man.
Listen, like I said, we got a great show coming up for y'all today. Coming up at 11 o'clock, we got New England Patriot cornerback, Super Bowl champ, Kyle Arrington. We're going to be talking to him about Super Bowl, about the Patriots, Belichick. And even we found out today, Kraft is also not getting into the Hall of Fame. So we got all that to discuss. But before we get to that, I want to introduce to you this beautiful young lady. She's done a whole lot. She's on the cover of People magazine. Please give a round of applause for the entrepreneur, the coach, the speaker, the author. Give it up for Charleah Torres, y'all. Make some noise.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
How you doing?
I want to say happy anniversary. I heard that it's your 10-year anniversary for the radio station.
Yeah,
congratulations.
Thank you. 10 years. Wow, man. Warren Street. It all started on Warren Street in Roxbury.
Amazing.
So we got a lot to talk about when it comes to that as well. But before we get to the weight loss and all that, talk to me about how did you get on the cover of People? That's a big deal.
That's God. That's God, because I was able to speak to a journalist. So I've been an entrepreneur for a while. I've been on my weight loss journey for over 25 years. And it's been a battle, and praise God, I won it. But I had met with this journalist. We spoke a year ago, and she said that I have been on her mind since then. And when this opportunity came to be on People magazine, she knew that my story would be one that would connect with others, and it was one that she really, really wanted to share, and for me to be able to touch other people. And I'm grateful because God continues to just place me. He positions me to be able to empower His children.
Wow. Now you had to have a certain, a different type of mindset, of course. I mean, now where were you before you started the weight loss? Where were you?
So where was I? I was a little girl. I mean, I have always been overweight or big boned, like we like to say. And it just progressed, and my health became threatened as I started to have children. I have 4 children. Right. And with each pregnancy, it became worse. And at 17, my mom actually died. She was 38 years old. She was only 38 years old. And as I started to realize my life was being threatened by my weight, it gave me that boost I needed to make sure that I did all that I could so I can live a good quality of life and live a long life for my children.
So you was at, what was the weight where you were at during
my highest? My highest was 236 pounds. I had no idea. I would randomly weighed myself and was like, oh, this is a lot. And I'm only 5'4". So that's a lot of weight on such a small frame.
Right. So in terms of your mindset, I mean, no one wants to be overweight. So I can imagine how you were feeling. But talk to me like the space you were in during that time, because it's easy for someone who's not overweight, you know what I mean? But just so people that aren't and others, where was your mind during that time?
So my mindset has always been one to not give up. I've had a lot of adversity, from a survivor of SA to being a teen mom to being the first in her generation to own a home at 26, second one by 31 years old. And again, the loss of my mother, and I'm the eldest of 10 kids. So it has always been to never give up. And with my weight, it was a battle because I kept getting basic information from my primary care that, oh, you just got to work a little harder. And I'm like, I'm one of the most disciplined people. You give me a plan structure, I'm gonna follow it. But what was happening was this weight regain. And I just felt like I had to always go in and battle when I was speaking with my doctor, just to get into a weight loss clinic, to get some type of additional assistance, because just having nutrition and exercise wasn't enough for me. What I was going through was just knowing I had to fight. I'm a litigation paralegal, so advocating is something that comes natural. I felt like I've always had to speak up. I'm a woman of color, that we're always, just unrepresented and really just underestimated. So it was natural. It was natural that, Charleah, you're going to fight. You're going to fight for your life. You're going to fight for your kids. You're going to fight to have what you deserve. Like, everyone deserves a good quality of life. Everyone deserves good health. It shouldn't be a luxury. So I was fighting, and I didn't give up. I had to pivot a couple times. I would literally lose weight and regain it. And it was like, what's going on? I was desperate at some times. I mean, I remember saran wrap in my stomach. I've done every single diet you can think of.
Saran wrap in the stomach, huh?
Saran wrapping, because I had 4 kids. I had a lot of extra skin. I was trying to get that hourglass figure back. I was trying to get Charleah back, but I did all that I could at the time. And I was desperate at points. There's points that I was desperate. There's points that I wanted to give up, but I knew I couldn't. So I really just tapped into my inner strength, that God-given inner strength, to continue on, prepare myself. When I went in, I did my own research. I remember one time I was watching a show on cable, and it was about weight loss, and these people that were severely overweight they had obesity, and they were having weight loss surgeries. They were having medications. You had to qualify for those things. I had, at this point, already knew I had sleep apnea. I had high blood pressure. BMI was off the chart. So that gave me a little boost to do some research. I did the research. I realized that I would qualify to get into this clinic. So I set up an appointment. I saw my doctor, and I qualified. It was a little bit of a battle, but not too much. I had a new doctor at this point, and she wasn't as informed, and that's part of the problem. A lot of the primary cares aren't as informed as they need to be with obesity and how to diagnose it and help clients on that level. So that we do have to get referred out to weight loss clinics and to weight loss specialists. So once I was sent to the clinic, I was diagnosed with obesity. So all the things I was going through, like having the continued weight regain, the high blood pressure, all those things were truly biology. I also have an underactive metabolism and an overactive hormone that sends food signals to my brain. It's called ghrelin. And an underactive hormone called leptin that actually sends food signals that you're satisfied. And this is all science-based, all biology. And
you did all that research.
I had to. And it's education, because who else is going to tell me? If we don't teach ourselves and we don't advocate for ourselves, you know what it is. We're going to be kept in the dark. And I can't allow that to be me, and I don't want it to be any of my people. So in addition to that, I was literally helping people lose weight. I was already sharing my journey online. I was a weight loss coach. I had probably had at least 100+ clients. I mean, weight was coming off of them. And here I am, the coach, regaining weight, still following an amazing program, a simple meal plan, working out at home. But it was my biology. There was some science behind it, and I needed extra help. So I went in 2020, and I had a vertical sleeve gastrectomy. That's a VSG, so it's weight loss surgery. They made my sleeve smaller, and my stomach smaller. And what that also does is it removes some of the hormones, the ghrelin, that overactive hormone that I had. It gets removed from your stomach, and then the signals go down that go to your brain. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing to me, actually. And I know I'm going off, but the fact that science is catching up to biology, I now have terminology for what I was going through. And just having that education and being able to tell other people, it's going to change so many lives. It's going to help us really be able to advocate and feel okay with saying, I need extra help. I need this. Help me, doctor. I know this XYZ, so where can you fit in, and what else can be done? Because I am a strong person, and sometimes we just need that extra help. So I'm glad that science is catching up to what is actually happening inside of us.
I have a question for you. It's funny, your story sounds so similar. I have some females in my family, And being of Afro-American descent, we have celebrated everything with food. And the type of food
Yeah.
that we like. The
Yeah.
mac and cheese, the fried chicken, the cornbread, the soul food.
It's Thanksgiving all the time.
And me and Steve
All the
here,
time.
we grew up together, and our families are from the South. And like I said, what you just said, it really sounds so familiar. And if you don't mind, what's your age? What age group are you in right now?
47. I
Okay,
just turned 47 on Friday, January 30th, and I'm so proud.
Well, okay.
My mom died at 38, and the fact that
Yeah.
I've outlived that age that I was so fearful of. I was praying to
Yes.
God to get to. I've surpassed it, and I'm going to live for a long time.
No, that's
48,
great.
excuse me, 47.
Yeah. No, that's great because you're old enough to remember when Oprah Winfrey went through her up and down weight loss. And initially, she did a liquid diet with Dick Gregory,
Yep.
just shakes and stuff years ago. And remember, Oprah slimmed down. She was running, jogging. Oprah would gain the weight back. She owned her own soul food restaurant. I believe it was in Chicago. So, what you're saying about the body, and I mean, what you're saying, you're simplifying it, but you know what? Not throwing any shade on it. A lot of people are just not motivated like you. Very few people is gonna actually follow the program that you went on and working out, changing their eating. Even me being older now, I'm 63. I know I can't eat the plate of food that I did when I was 25. I try to eat smaller portions, and like you say, going to the doctors, doing and finding out what your body chemistry is, because what happens is the metabolism. That's the key. That's the thing that controls our body. And you see these people, they can eat so much food and don't gain no weight. Some people's metabolism, it's just genetics. Some of us,
one. Yeah.
Yes. Hey, listen, even me, I swear, if I eat 2 slices of pizza, I'm good. If I eat 4 slices, that scale goes up 5 pounds the next day.
Yep.
So I understand your whole story, what you're saying, and I'm glad that someone understands that, because very few Afro-Americans understand what you're saying. They think you can just go to the gym, work out, and still eat the same.
Nah, you cannot outwork out. You can't out exercise a bad nutrition plan. You have to. Our health and our weight loss is 80% impacted by our nutrition. Workout is just to tone, maintain, and keep strong, but weight loss really has to do with our nutrition.
I've heard bodybuilders tell me that 80% is eating versus the working out.
Yep. As far as Auntie O, she's actually my cover mate. She's on the cover. She has her own magazine cover that came out the same time as I did. The editor wrote an open letter, and she mentions your girl Charleah with Auntie O in the same letter. Like, God is so good. I mean, the way he's positioned me.
So you like all the weight loss drugs that's on the market now that's helping people?
So I wouldn't say like. What I would say is I believe in it, and there is healthcare evolved in that. So I actually take a GLP-1 medication, and it literally is saving my life. It's helping me combat my obesity symptoms. Like I said, the hormones that are overactive, the ones that are underactive, my metabolism, it actually increases my metabolism, slows down the hormones. It really is helping me live. It's helping me maintain, because again, I'm a disciplined person. I have easy to follow meal plans. I work out, but my body wants something different. I have a preset weight, and that's where it wants to go.
Wow, that's great. You know what? This information that you're saying, I've read stuff and I've heard about this.
Yeah.
That our bodies wants to go to a certain weight, and we crave foods. What about food cravings? I think we all crave food. For some reason, after I work out for 2 hours, my body craves salt. But a lot of times I would drink plenty of water, eat a banana. But why is it that our body craves like salt after we work out for a couple hours?
So your body is looking for you to replenish it. You need to
Okay.
have some type of recovery shake that has protein, that has greens, because when you work out, you're exhausting that. You are working out that muscle. You're really working. So you're exhausting the muscle, you're exhausting your body, you're depleting your body. So you have to put in what you've lost. And at that point, you want to put in good stuff so that you're actually leaning out, you're building the muscle in a healthy way. I mean, people can go on a low-cal diet and they can eat fast food all they want. They're going to look slim. They're going to get all those because they're at the calorie deficit. But the fact is they're not eating whole green foods, which will then help the skin glow, help the nails grow, help the edges. There was one time my edges were like way back here. I take vitamins now. I eat clean. I eat foods that are as alive as possible. In other words, like raw vegetables and salads when I can. And it has made a difference. Like I get my nails painted. These are mine. And I say that because I bring that up, and I know it sounds a little vain, but these are the things that women look for. They want to have the beauty in the nails, the beauty in the hair. And I'm one to advocate that when you start feeding yourself and working on the inside, your health just comes outward. Like you have to start inward, whether it's spiritually, it's physically, it's mentally, and it's also with your nutrition. You're going to see that glow. You're going to really be able to change and be who you really want to be. But it does start from, it's always inward, always inward.
Do you think a lot of this starts in childhood? Because I watch young adults now, and I think water is one of the most important things.
It is.
It cuts your appetite. It helps your body metabolize better. But I notice young people, they're always grabbing sugary drinks. And all that does, from what I understand, is make you crave more sugar.
It does. Sugar, I don't know the actual statistic right now, but sugar is just as addictive as some street drugs.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah. And so it does start from childhood. Like we were told, clean your plate, right? So then we get that mindset of you got to always clean your plate. So what I do is I use a smaller plate because it's still, even though I'm disciplined, it's a habit. It's what I was told, and it's inside of me. As far as water is a very good source of beauty regimen. You drink it, it makes your skin glow. You're supposed to actually drink half your body weight in ounces to have your organs properly function. So if you're 100 pounds, you should be drinking 50 ounces of water. And that's literally just so that your liver can function right, your kidneys can filter what they need to filter. So water is absolutely important to drink daily. And when you struggle with it, it's a hard thing. It was a hard thing for me in the beginning because I used to like Sprite. I drank Sprite all the time. Sprite and lemonade was just what I drank. And what I did was I started to set timers on my phone, reminders. I had a reminder to work out. I had a reminder to press play, a reminder to drink water. That was my first goal, to really become a water drinker. So, it does, like you mentioned, it's habits, it's mindset, and we have to be aware of the habits and work towards recorrecting them and reframing our mindset. And it goes back to childhood. For me, because I was unhealthy as a child as well. Like I had kidney stones at 5 years old. That's something I don't want my kids to go through. I actually had my gallbladder taken out at 17 years old. It's all soda. And so what I have done with my kids is I've just been able to set them up with, they don't know what juice is, right? They don't know what a full gallon of juice is by itself. I put half water. They don't know the taste because they've never had it before.
Okay.
So it's you start that way. My children, praise God, they have not had McDonald's in probably at least 7 years, maybe longer. So I teach them, though, we still eat burgers, we still have French fries, we just go to a better quality place. So we do that, and you just find ways to enjoy the food you like, but you try to implement better quality of that food. So it's that mindset. When one child I used to make jarred food. I used to give my one child jarred food. Then I started to understand, do organic. So then I bought organic jarred food to elevate to making the food myself. It's all about knowledge and just trying to progress wherever you are. You start where you are and you try to progress.
Yeah. So, like Rich said, it's very hard for people to get started.
Yeah.
And, you talked about the water. That seems like a good place to start. Okay, if you're going to lose weight, start drinking a lot of water just for the motivation at least. But
Yep.
it is probably not an answer to this. But in terms of how do people motivate themselves to even get started? And there's probably no answer to that, but it seems
You
like
gotta want,
that's
well,
that's the
first of all, you
sticking
gotta
point.
want to start. You gotta really look at yourself and say, what do I want? Is it for to feel better? Is it so that I can sleep better? I can get up the stairs? What is your goal? And you start with your why. And your why can be very simple. And when you start there, you start thinking about, okay, well, what can I do? What changes can I really make? Like I said, for me, it was the water. I wanted to start working out to just feel better. I would sleep in my workout clothes, clean ones, obviously, but I would sleep in my workout clothes. So then I would wake up in the morning before anyone got up. I was able to press play and get my workout in. And it started to change my mindset that, okay, I'm getting into this routine. I'm doing something for myself. And I felt better. And then I just built from there. I would say don't wait to the perfect time. There's never a perfect time. Don't say, oh, I got to start on a Monday. Let me wait to Saturday when the week. Start right then and there. When you think
Right.
about it, start doing something about it. You can always go back and change and you can always add, but you have to just jump right in and start somewhere. Pick
I have a
something very
question.
small and just
How
work
do
on
you
that one
feel about
habit.
the celebrities and the athletes, even Serena Williams? They're advertising the
Oh,
weight
now
loss
they're on it,
drug.
right? Everybody's on it. It's like
Yeah,
it's the hype. Um,
yes,
and I don't have anything negative to say about it. I am grateful that there's plenty of people with notoriety that are bringing awareness to it. And like anything, some are in it for the money, some aren't. Some are really struggling, and they're brave enough to use their platform where they're going to be scrutinized more than you and I to talk about it. Like Oprah, I'm so grateful that because I mean, I've watched her. She's gone up and down. That's all anyone would talk about for the most of her life. And the fact that she's admitting that she has obesity and that she's now using GLP-1 medication is amazing. We see Serena. Serena has always been an athlete, but she's always been a wider frame, right? The
yes.
medication is helping her. Does she need it? I'm not her doctor. I don't know, but it's helping her, and she's spreading awareness. And she, through her platform, she's actually in, can't think of the word, empowering someone else
Yeah.
to do the same. So I'm okay with it. We
The
all have to
thing,
connect with who we connect with, and you can
yeah,
either see the authenticity or not.
the thing I love about Oprah is her journey's been like over 30 years,
Yep.
and she admitted, and I think we all can admit, hey, we love food, and
I love food.
who don't love a good plate of soul food? You go to the cookout, you go to the family get-togethers, and you got the old people putting together, that good
Plates to
country
go.
food.
Yep.
Listen, hey, listen. You have to admit, I think that you love food, but you have to know also your restrictions. And you know what? Sometimes it's good to splurge. I don't think you want to put yourself in a situation where you're like, oh, I'm never gonna eat this again.
No,
Hey,
you
I
can't
like
deprive. I would
I
never tell
like your
anyone to
mindset.
deprive themselves. You can't
I
be.
really like your mindset. And you know what? That food tastes just as good in smaller portions, like you said, a smaller
Hello.
plate.
That's all it is. It's smaller portions and being able to understand the science behind things. So if you're going to have a carb, you need to have a green vegetable or fruit, because when you combine the two, your body actually can break it down as you're digesting it. So you get what you need to get out of it. That's why you see you'll have yogurt with a little bit of granola and some fruit on top, because mixing it together, your yogurt should have protein in it. Your granola is that sweet stuff. It's also your carbs. It gives you that crunch, that texture, and your fruit. It's going to, when you start eating it that way, it's actually science, and you're going to be able to digest it better. But yeah, I'm all about portions. I don't deprive myself. I love to eat. I love food. And I love food in the sense, meaning because everything we do, food is there, whether we're celebrating, whether we're at a repast, whatever we're doing, food is around us, and it's a necessity. So we just have to have a better relationship and have a better understanding of how we actually can fuel our body, so that we do live longer and we are actually fueling our body instead of just eating for our taste. You can do both with more knowledge.
with this being the week of the Super Bowl, of course, that's gonna be hard to do for a lot of people.
No,
But
no, it's not. No, it's not. I'm
well,
here. I got some tips.
well, that's my question. What can folks do knowing that they're going to a Super Bowl party and it's gonna be food, all
Yeah.
kinds of food? Talk to me about that. What can folks do?
So what I would do if I was at a party, I always look for the vegetables first. I always look, hopefully it's a good dip. If it's not, then I might chew on some vegetables. I
What
drink
if
my
there aren't any
water.
vegetables?
And
You
then,
talk about a Super Bowl party.
I mean, there's always usually a cheese spread or veggies
Right.
and that ranch
Right.
dressing.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I grab a couple, I grab that. I definitely grab some wings. I grab like 1 or 2 wings. And I enjoy myself. What I like to do when we have our party here, my party is just our 4 kids and my husband,
Yeah.
is I do a half and half. So I'll do buffalo wings. I'll air fry them. I usually just salt and pepper, a little bit of garlic on it, air fry them, and I do the other half of the batch will be cauliflower. Stick them in the oven, let them get nice and crispy, and then I take them out and toss them in some buffalo sauce. It's simple. It's simple. The little things. I still eat my wings. They're still crispy, but how I cook them made the difference. I didn't gouge them in a whole bunch of oil. I air fried them. And the other half of it is going to be a vegetable that absorbs. So cauliflower is this magic veggie that just really takes on the flavors that however you mix it in. And so I'm going to probably eat more of the buffalo cauliflower wings than I am the chicken wings, but I am going to have at least two. And then I'll eat up my vegetables to kind of balance it out. So I'm not feeling neglected. I'm not feeling like I'm depriving myself, but I'm being smart about how I eat it.
So
for me, go ahead.
So eating the wings isn't a bad thing. It's just moderation, like they always say.
It's moderation.
And how you cook it.
It's how you cook it. Wings are a treat for me. I usually do a boneless, skinless chicken breast. That's the staple in my house. So whenever we're having salad, whatever I'm doing is a boneless, skinless chicken breast. Usually when I make barbecue chicken, that's what it is. But like on a special occasion like the Super Bowl, we'll get some wings. And if I feel like if I have a taste for it, we get some wings. It's just not all the time, and that makes the difference. And when it's in moderation, it's not going to be so impactful.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
For the sweet tooth, I have a really big sweet tooth. Like I love lemon cake. That lemon icing cake at the coffee shop, it has Charleah. Every one of them has Charleah's name on it. So I have to balance that out because it's wicked for me. And what I try to do is remember I'm high protein valued when it comes to my eating, and so I try to get protein in however I can. So I've taken like fresh strawberries, any type of fresh fruit that you like. I add it with a vanilla Greek yogurt, and then I drizzle chocolate on it, freeze it, and you just have, and it's a perfect treat. You get your sweet in, you get your protein, you got your protein in without even thinking, because you think it's vanilla ice cream, but it's actually vanilla yogurt with protein. So there's ways to get around still curbing your sweet tooths and your cravings, but being smart about it. Being intentional, not smart, just being more intentional.
Now, what about the person that we got to have lasagna, we got to have some rice and mac and cheese? Are there some things that you just won't, or where people should just not do when it comes to if you're trying to lose weight? Well,
why not? Why not have lasagna? Why not have rice? I have it. I'm from Trinidad. Okay. My father's Trinidadian. My husband's from Puerto Rico, and rice is a staple. And I love Italian food. Literally, when we got married, our reception was at Maggiano's. So we have it. It's just the portions. You can do vegetable lasagna. We now have chickpea pasta. It's pasta made out of chickpea that's high protein. There's so much more options than the dry tofu when we were growing up, when we were younger. So there's a lot of options out there. It's about doing the research and finding them. I actually have a meal plan I customize for people, and on my IG channel, I actually give tips and talk about the things I've tried, foods I've tried. So I do my best to make it easy and give access to my people and encourage them in so many ways, because it's not everyone has time to go to the store and look and figure out what they like or what they want to try, but I do my best. I try.
How do you feel about alcohol, where that plays a role in weight loss and everything? Because alcohol, you drink a few beers or a few drinks, that alcohol just enhance your taste buds.
Yep. I'm not really a drinker. I might have a drink socially, and it would be like one cocktail. I am intentional. I only drink tequila because it's low in carbs, and it's a cleaner. I do drink a cleaner one, and that's once in a while. I don't really drink alcohol. There was a time when I was on my journey that I actually went. I want to say it was 2.5 years, almost 3 years, alcohol free. It was by choice. So it really does play a role. Any type of drink, sugary drinks are going, whether it has alcohol in it or not, it's going to set you back. So you definitely have to be mindful of sugary drinks.
Okay. Now this journey, after going through everything, that kind of put you in. You're an entrepreneur as well.
Yes, I am.
So did that kind of push you into that area as well?
I was already an entrepreneur. I've been a freelance paralegal for many years. I've been in the legal field for 29 years. And so I do contract laws. I do estate planning. All those things were already there. When I started to share my journey online, I organically became a coach by just talking about the program I'm doing, and there was an opportunity to partner with the program and become a coach. I've now moved on from that particular program and have my own app where I actually customize plans and show my own faces working out, because a lot of my clients were like, Charleah, we want to work out with you. You know, these trainers are fantastic, but we want to see us. We want you. We want your energy. So I now have an exclusive app that people can connect with me, and I'm doing it. I'm trying to be there for my people and really help whoever needs it and wants to connect with me with working out. So it's God's plan. I'm just following it. Whatever he had, wherever he's leading me, I'm here. I want to just be here for my people and help them.
Good stuff. And we got a phone call. Let me just see who this is. Maybe a question. Hello, this is the Urban Heat, R&B Talk. Who's this? How you doing? What can we do for you this morning?
Okay. Hey, Jay, what's up, brother? This is me, Rich. Thanks for calling in. Listen, Jay, Kyle's gonna be on the show about 11 o'clock. Call back. We're in the middle of another guest right now, but hey, man, thanks for your support and calling in.
Well, since you're on the phone, you got any issues with weight?
Wait. We have a weight loss coach on here right now. We're talking about So hey, I know you don't have no.
Say that again. He says, what's your take on sugar? We talked about that, but go ahead, go for it.
So sugar is not the enemy. The type of sugar makes a difference. Agave is good to look into. There's organic sugar, brown sugar. It's just the type of sugar. You want to try and not have anything that's over processed. I do my best to stay away from processed foods in general. So the more rich, the more organic, raw it is, the better it's going to be for you. And like anything, you just need to do it in moderations. You should try, like if you drink coffee, see if you just use a cream that almond milk that's really sweet. You might not need the sugar. It's just, finding healthier options for what you like.
Gotcha. Hey, thanks for your call, man.
Hey, Jay, call back, man. I need your input. Call back at 11 when Kyle Arrington is on the air. All right, man?
Jay got a lot to say. You need to give him a microphone. Just let him come sit and talk.
Yeah, thanks, Jay. We'll talk to you later, man. All right. Now, you mentioned something, processed food.
Yeah.
That's a big problem with a lot of folks. Talk to us about that a little bit more.
It's hard to get away from, I feel, because we need simple things in our lives, right? We need things on the go. So I just say, do your best. Like I try not to, I don't actually eat cereal anymore. My children still do. But instead of doing like a sugary cereal, it's Cheerios. Slice up a banana, slice up some strawberries in there, put a little honey, whatever you need to do. So we try to just cut it out as much as possible. If you go on my cabinet.
No Frosted Flakes?
Listen, do you remember we used to do the Frosted Flakes and add, well, let me speak for myself. I would do the Frosted Flakes and still add sugar to it. Like, that was crazy, but I didn't know any better at the time, right? No Frosted Flakes in my house anymore, but they still do their things. We still eat chips. I try to do organic chips now, but we still have bagged things that we open. Crackers. I love the Ritz crackers with peanut butter. It's an organic peanut butter. But it's really a balance. You got to work with what you can and how you can. Sometimes it's hard to cut everything out, but you can definitely make some moderations that are going to make a huge difference. I mean, I lost 100 pounds, and I'm a realistic person. Like, I can't just eat vegetable. I don't like vegetables like that. I like meat. I like cake. So I had to make modifications where I can.
Right. Okay. And if folks, if you want to reach out to her, she has a website. You can go to charleahdaniel.com. You can also hit her up at Instagram at Charleah Daniel. And any other places they can hit you at?
It's Charleah Danielle, and those are the best places to reach me at. If you want to join my fitness group, it's Charleah Danielle Fitness Studio. You can connect with me. My website is on my Instagram page. You can follow me and go ahead and just send me a message. I would love to give you a free consultation, come up with a meal plan, come up with whatever fits your life. Sometimes it's just a conversation you need to have. Sometimes it's just a couple of workouts you need. Whatever you need, I'm really here to help.
Sounds like a plan.
I don't like to waste people's time, and I don't want anyone to feel intimidated. I'm your girl. Like, I literally grew up in the South End. I lived on Columbia Road. I mean, I was born in Back Bay, and I'm here. Like, I'm here to help y'all. Don't feel like you can't reach out to me. There's no question that's silly. And I would love to inform you however I can and support you however I can, because everybody should feel good. Like, I'm living my best life. I have so many.
I see it. You're glowing.
Yeah, man. Like, I have awards, I have homes, I have degrees, but I won my battle against obesity. I get up every day and I know I'm going to live for my kids. I'm going to live for myself. There's no greater joy than that. Praise God. Like, the strength we all have, and it's about tapping into that. You really have to tap into what's already here. We already have it. We just sometimes lose it. But when you regain it and you find yourself, we're unstoppable. We are unstoppable.
Well, it's amazing.
One second, we got a phone call here. Hello, who's this? Urban
It's
Heat?
not Jay, right?
What's that again? Hello, is this Jay calling back? I think they hung up. We lost them. So listen, folks, again, you can hit her up, charleahdanielle.com. You can go to Instagram at Charleah Danielle. And listen, we want to thank you for joining us, giving us all that good, great information when it comes to weight loss and things people can do, the drinking, and it's Super Bowl week. So it's going to be tough for a lot of folks, but they can reach out to you. Right?
They can. It's not going to be tough because everyone has that discipline. We have that mindset. Enjoy yourself, but just be mindful of what you're doing. If you're going to have a couple beers, then don't have soda. Drink your water. Make sure you get a vegetable in when you have those wings. That's simple. Have one slice of cake, not four.
Sounds like a plan. We want to thank you once again. All right.
Thank you.
Only Charleah Daniel on the cover of People magazine. Now, that version of People is still online, correct?
It's online. There's actually a feature, an exclusive. In addition to that, there's a feature that speaks of my journey online. You can always Google me, Charleah Torres Vega. I've also have a documentary with PBS. I have an award-winning Anthem documentary about my story with Mass Learning Group. I speak at Harvard Medical School. I'm a recurring speaker there. So there's a lot of information out there and ways that you can connect with me. All right.
Real quick, not to cut you right there. I think our caller is back. Hello, who's this? Urban Heat. Yes, we can hear you. All right. Well, thanks for your call. We appreciate you. All right, all right. So listen, I mean, this has always been something, weight um, in all of our families. Doesn't
Yep.
matter what ethnic group or genre of folks, but it's just something that's always, someone's always battling the weight. So
Yep.
we want to thank you for coming on and
Thank you.
sharing your journey and your story. And we definitely want you to come back. We got some other things planned. We'd love to have you back on the show.
Thank you. I would love to come back. I have a speaking engagement coming up at my church. I'm actually a member of the Appointed City Church. Come out, join us. And we have a Valentine's Day where we're going to be talking about self-love, health, and financial discipline. So you can go on my IG page. You'll find all the information. I just come out, join us, connect with us. We would love to have you.
Great stuff. Thank you once again, folks. Give it up one more time for the beautiful young lady.
God bless you guys. Thank you.
Thank you again, Charleah. We love you.
Okay.
All right. Oh man, that's gonna be tough for folks to do, Rich.
Well, Steve,
I mean,
that's why I said that alcohol. When you drink that alcohol, man, them taste buds, for some reason, man, that food just tastes so much better, man.
yeah, man. I mean, and it's the week of the Super Bowl, so folks are gonna be out at all kinds of
Well,
parties.
just call that your cheat day. That's all right. Everybody that's trying to watch their weight and eating healthy, everyone has a cheat day. Super Bowl Sunday is your cheat day.
All right, so let's move along. So the New England Patriots, Seattle Seahawks Super Bowl is this Sunday, and this is the week where folks are making plans and trying to figure out where they're going to go, where they're going to watch the game, and all that stuff. But a lot is going on in football, from coaches being hired. You got the Bill Belichick in the Hall of Fame, snub that just happened, and we got to talk about Kraft because I heard he was just
I was getting ready to say, Steve, man, hold the press, man. Bob Kraft, as of this morning, he didn't make the cut again.
Wow.
And he needed, I think it was like 40 votes or something like that. Whatever it is, I think the bar is a little different for owners.
Yeah.
And once again, they snub Bob Kraft. This is kind of getting a little tricky here with this Hall of Fame stuff, man.
Yeah, so we can talk about that. And by the way, speaking of football, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for New England Patriots Super Bowl champion. Make some noise. What's up, man? Good morning. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing well. Thank you guys for having me. We are just thawing out down here in the DMV on all this snow and ice.
Man, I can imagine. We still thawing out here in Boston as well, man. So welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us, man. We got a whole lot to talk about. I hope you got some time because there's so much going on, man. But as Rich was just saying, let's start with the Hall of Fame because this morning we heard that Kraft is also not getting in. So what are your thoughts about that, man?
Yeah, no, I heard myself, man. Just hot off the press, right?
Hot off the press.
I'm telling you, when it between Bill and between Mr. Kraft, when it comes to the Hall of Fame induction or process, I mean, you almost got to question the integrity of the process and even the committee at this point. I don't know if the committee is made up of a whole bunch of Jets fans, Bill Polian and Christy Noem at this point.
Yo.
Hey, Kyle, listen, man. Listen, right. You was right there. You played for the Patriots. I remember you, brother, making some extraordinary plays. And I want to commend you on your journey from Hofstra University, undrafted free agent, all the way to the NFL. I'm a lifelong Patriot fan. I go back to the early 1970s. So if you want to know any Patriot history that they didn't tell you about, ask me, okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah,
I don't know.
That offline, sure.
Listen, now what I'm going to ask you, do you feel like the Hall of Fame, I was just discussing it with Steve, do you feel like the Hall of Fame should be not ex-players that are Hall of Famers like they do with the other leagues of, that's what they do? Because these writers, man, they're just not getting us right now,
Yeah, I can agree with those sentiments. I think that's a fair point, just because it just seems like there is some bias in terms of the writer. It just doesn't feel like it's all the way 100% objective. And if you look at Bill's credentials. If you look at Mr. Kraft's, credentials as an owner, team president and all that. I mean, if they're not, first ballot Hall of Famers, I don't know who is at this point. People want to talk about Spygate and Deflategate. So I wasn't around for a Spygate, but I can even, when I was there firsthand when we put that shellacking on Indianapolis for Deflategate. And if you get beat that bad in the playoff game, I would have to make up something too, right? And so the thing about it is, as it just stands, I just so happen to have a game ball that we played with in New England. And let me tell you first, that there's nothing wrong. Okay, now, no, I'm kidding. Again, I'm messing.
You didn't deflate that though, right?
No, I'm messing. But seriously though. But yeah, so here's the thing that I guess we like to say is like everybody speeds, but for whatever reason, they just like to pull over New England. When it came to Spygate around that time, like everybody was stealing everybody's signals. When it comes to Deflategate, when it comes to quarterback preferences, even with the football for game day, everybody has their preferences. And so, but they just want to make a big deal out of, whether it's the PSI, a lot of quarterbacks like to sand the balls before, out there before they play the game. So it's a lot of different things that QBs like to do in terms of, once again, their preferences. So again, I don't know, if that's held against New England, whatever the case may be, but it needs to be, I think it needs to be some type of overturn process also in there. And so I don't know. It just seems, especially going back to Bill Belichick and his distinguished career, that will always be on his resume. Well, not having first ballot on his resume, it just seems like they robbed him of that.
And like they said, when you think about it, if he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer, let's be honest, who is? Because when you look at all his accolades, the records, the amount of wins, the championships, all of that, I don't think anybody comes close to that. So who is a first ballot Hall of Famer at this point? That's the question, right?
That's a damn good question.
Well, Kyle, I got a question for you. New England Patriots are back in the Super Bowl. No one expected, and I say us, the fans, you as a former player, we're all like a family. We didn't see this coming this quick. So let me ask you this question. Do you think with the timing, the Patriots back in the Super Bowl, Bill Polian and these guys on the committee didn't vote Bill in, do you think this was almost like a perfect storm that, wait a minute, these Patriots are back in the Super Bowl, Bill Belichick going in the Hall of Fame? Do you think this was just too much for these guys to accept at the same time?
Oh man, you know what? The NFL could be a bit cliquish sometimes. So who needs Rachel McAdams? No, we got Bill Polian as far as like Mean Girls, right?
That's right.
But no, seriously, I don't know. I won't go as far as to say all that. But again, I'm just sitting and discuss and kind of perturb with everybody else that I guess to say scratching my head as well with everybody else that I guess this is the reality. And so again, it's a damn shame. Hopefully they like I said, they can be some type of oversight now and they could get it right moving forward.
I'm glad folks are calling Bill Polian out because, truth of the matter is the hate with him goes as far back as with the Buffalo Bills because he was GM for the Bills back when they lost those 4 Super Bowls. And one of the losses was against the Giants. And who was the coordinator? Bill Belichick. Oh, so it goes back, and then to go back to the Deflategate with the Colts, he was the GM there. And I just feel like Deflategate, even Spygate, is like a reflection of people like Bill Polian. Like I felt like Spygate was overblown. To this day, I still think it is. Spygate to me was really just everybody stole signals. We know that. That goes back way to in the 1960s. Everybody stole signals and did something to try and get a competitive advantage. To me, Spygate was just that. But instead, they made it oh my God, they're really spying. They really took the camera and it was something like they're the only team that ever did. And when you look at the memo talked about the placement of the cameras. Not that you couldn't record games. but you can't record the game here. You have to put your camera there. Belichick didn't do that, so he took the fall. But that's not the general feeling throughout, of course, people in America and definitely in the football league. Even when you talk to some of the players, they all said the Patriots cheated. So what's your stance on that? How do you feel? I mean, do you agree with that?
Well, I guess if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, right? Now, again, I'm messing. Y'all don't take all these quotes literally. But no, again, you know, when you that level of greatness is just, especially when you're talking about NFL, it's just, I mean, it's unprecedented to have the 2-decade plus run that they went on, and now to turn around, you know, 2 years. I guess it's been 2 years since Bill Belichick era in New England, and to be back in the big dance. I mean, again, you know, the teams, they have to, team owners, players, whomever, media, they have to come up with something, right? Mm-hmm. Because to knock New England down a peg, or put an asterisk, you know, by the name, whatever the case may be. So again, it's unfortunate, but you know, that's not going to stop. Obviously, you know, that's not going to stop them going out there playing some big football games, some meaningful football games, especially this time of year.
Mm-hmm. Wow. I think we got a phone call. Hello, who's this? Jay, what can we do for you this morning? You got a question for Kyle? Mm-hmm. All right, thanks, Jay. Appreciate you, man. All right, you heard this question?
I did not. I was not able to hear. You said that was Jan?
Yeah, he wanted to know.
Okay, so that must be a different Jan. I owe another Jan money. So no, I'm kidding. I'm messing.
Yeah. He basically wanted to know, what did you see in this year's team versus the 2014 team, and also the 2011 team that didn't break through against the Giants, but you guys were able to break through in 2014. What type of similarities that you see in this year's team compared to those teams?
Truth be told, I think I see more similarities in the 2011 team than any. When I say that, it was really by committee. I mean, yes, you know, we had our superstar quarterback in Tom Brady, but I mean, we was really a makeshift team, and just get it done by any means necessary as well. I mean, we had that year we had Edelman playing defense. We had like a carousel at safety as well due to injuries. And so we just had a lot of guys, you know, just brought their hard hats week in, week out. Coaches did a great job putting us in positions to be successful. And, you know, guys just went out there and executed.
And to me, that's one of the great things about Belichick, because even you were undrafted. There are a lot of players that Willie McGinnis made a statement a couple of days ago about how Belichick would win with, you know, all 5th rounders or 6th rounders, undrafted players. Mm-hmm. He would put people in the best position to win. In my opinion, just one of the things just makes him a great coach, and which makes the snubbing of the Hall of Fame just ridiculous.
Well, Kyle, you know, we used to have jokes around here that Bill could go into Home Depot and get a couple of guys and put out there. You wasn't one of those guys he found working at Home Depot, like Malcolm Butler. Allegedly, he was working at Popeyes. Is that a true story, man, or they just make? Was that true, or did they make that one up?
I was working at Old Country Buffet at the time, but to you guys' point, no, and again, is what makes the pill so harder to swallow when it comes to Bill not being the first ballot, is that he would get the most out of his guys, and that's what you want as a coach, to be able to get the most out of your guys, and at the end of the day, I think be able to pat yourself on the back and just know that that kind of makes it all worthwhile, that you see the progression, you see the guys go out there, executing the game plan, you see the dedication, the commitment, and you see you see the DNA of each team, which looks different, year in and year out. And so I know we had a great group of guys where just the camaraderie was there. We would hang out all the time off of the field, so we build a great rapport, great trust. And so I'm not up there as often, so I don't know the exact DNA of this current team and roster. But you can see that on the field at least there's a lot of trust and the team and the teammates. And so it's been great to see, great to witness, and great to be back in the big dance as far as as far as the team, as far as the community. And it's a great community in terms of New England blue collar community. So very happy for the fans, and they truly deserve it.
Now, Kyle, coming from Hofstra University undrafted, did you ever feel overwhelmed when you first got to the Patriots trying to make the team, or coming from a small D1 like that, not playing big time with the big boys in college football? Did you ever feel like the game was too fast for you when you first got there, the first training camp? Or did you just have this confidence like, I belong here?
That's a great question. So for those who are not familiar with my journey, I was an undrafted free agent, went to Philly training camp, and I spent the rest of that season in Tampa my rookie year. And then so fast forward to the following opening kickoff of my second year, I was let go after week 1, and then I made my way to New England. So I say that to say that in my mind at the time, I'm thinking to myself, if I couldn't, again, like I said, I'm D1 AA guy, undrafted free agent guy, small school guy, and I couldn't hack it. And Philly, I couldn't hack it in Tampa. But here at New England is calling me, wanting me to work out for them. I'm thinking to myself, well, I mean, I'm not going to say no, but no, I mean, a guy like me in my position to not only get 1, but 2, but 3 bites of the apple to try to develop a career in this thing, right, called the National Football League. I just went in there and went in with no regrets, didn't hold back, didn't try to outthink myself. And then it also made it that much more easier to have a coach like Bill, who told me all those exact same things. Said, hey, if we we see something great in you, we like the way you move, like the way you attack the football, like your aggressiveness. So don't do anything more, don't do anything less. This put you in a position to have this opportunity, and that really went a long way for me.
Right. Walk us through. I mean, it's Super Bowl week. Walk us through what it's like for the players. I mean, the Patriots, they're a young team, first time for a lot of them, and especially the rookies. Walk us through what it's like for them during the week.
Absolutely. I mean, once you have that realization, when that moment, that seminal moment, that okay, we're going to the show. It's just, I don't know, you're just shock and awe. I remember we had a relatively young team ourselves in 2011. Going to the show, and we had some great veterans. We had coaches, obviously, just not being their first rodeo. And so I think it is very helpful to have a coach like Mike Vrabel, who's been there as a very tenured coach already, and is still relatively young career, but also been there as a player who knows the process, knows the formalities, and can kind of walk the team through what to expect. And in terms of what to expect, it could be a lot of possibilities for distractions. And so there's a kind of tale of two competitors, if you will, because as one competitor, you want to just stay mission focused, oriented, and yes, and absolutely rightfully so. You at the end of the day, it's still a job that you have to do. You want to finish the job, but if you can soak in the moment. Soak in the moment as much as you can, because there's a lot of people in this you think the pantheon of what this league and everything it has to offer, who have never made it to the big dance, to the show, guys like Dan Marino, for example. And so you don't want to take it lightly either. So you do want to, because there's a lot of sights and sounds and festivities and opportunities to share with those that you love, your family who also made the trip So yeah, you do want, it's a good time to have, like I said, an opportunity to hang out with them, to also enjoy it with them. But ultimately, like I said, you got to try to stay as focused as you can.
No, I'm sorry, Rich. Now, tickets, you talked about families. Ticket wise, how does that work when it comes to tickets? I'm sure everybody and their mama want to go.
mama and grandmama.
Right.
So yeah, I know back in 2015, tickets were going, and I think for us, at a discount, they still weren't cheap. So they were going for a pretty pricey amount of pop. And
so you pay for your own tickets, pretty much.
Yes, you do. And so I can only imagine now with inflation, right?
Right.
Where it stands. But yeah, I mean, it depends. So you go out there, you win the game, and then you get that bonus. That bonus in and of itself will cover more than what you spent. So but still though, I mean, it just depends on who you are as a player, even kind of like as a person. You have a big family, don't have a big family, kind of the dynamic you come from back where you come from too. And so I mean you want to be as thoughtful as you can of who you bring, who's around you, who also, because they at the end of the day when they're out and about, they represent you just like you represent them too. And so you kind of want to be thoughtful who you bring. You just don't want to give a ticket to anybody.
Rich.
Yeah, Kyle, I got a question. What about, how do you feel as an ex-player? You got Ben
you said player, like hold on now. What type of player we talking about? Nah, I'm ex-player. Yeah, I am married. I ain't back in my day though, Brett. Now,
an ex-NFL player.
You a real player, not
an ex-NFL player, Kyle. So you got, of course, Mike Vrabel, who played in 3 Super Bowls and won.
Now you played with Mike, right?
We ourselves did not overlap. What was his last year? The 07?
07, yeah.
Maybe
He went to Kansas City. He was traded to Kansas City. I think you came after Mike.
Yep.
But you got Mike, who won 3 Super Bowls. He also was a great coach for Tennessee Titans, got them to the playoffs like 4 times. Now you got Josh McDaniels, have won several Super Bowls and went to several. Now you got Doug Marrone, Ben McDougal. Do you feel as an ex-player that the Patriots have an advantage with this veteran coaching staff in the Super Bowl?
It helps. It surely helps.
Okay.
I don't know if I would go as far as to say advantage. I mean, you look at guys like Malcolm Butler, right? He had zero experience, and in that last biggest play of the game in 2015, and he won it for us. But it definitely and certainly does help.
What about players? I'm sorry. What about the players that's on the team like Milton Williams? You have the cornerback there, Williams there, that played in Tampa with Tom Brady that won. You have the wide receiver, Matt Collins. He played with Philly in 2018 when they beat the Patriots. Do that help, having guys on the team that have actually played and won Super Bowls? Did that experience help the guys that's kind of pass that, calm guys down for the game and when the game starts and everything?
Absolutely, for sure. It definitely it most certainly does help. As this thing that we talk about all the time called hidden yardage, right? And so that definitely helps in terms of hidden yardage. And you see, you guys just alluded to it earlier, wherever you can like kind of scratch, claw, and leave no stone unturned to help yourselves win a football game. And that's where it lies as well, to have that experience. And especially if you make the most of it and you emphasize it and capitalize off of it, and in terms of keeping yourself like even killed throughout the week, don't necessarily get too high, get too low, anything like that. And you go out and you like I said, you try to fire on all cylinders, go out there, execute, and win a football game.
Hey Kyle, just looking at the chat here, here's a question. I don't know if you can answer this, but what happened at Belichick's party where Jones ended up at the police station? I'm not even. Oh, they're talking about the linebacker we had. I don't even know if you want.
They're talking about Charleah Jones. Yeah.
Jones.
Man, that's my guy right there. Just out of the sanctity of our brotherhood relationship, man. You got to ask him. But right. Yeah. That's a good brother right there, though.
Yeah, I remember that.
He was a character.
Right, I remember that. I think he had one of them cigarettes from the gas station. That's what happened, man. I already knew the answer to that.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, he said, well, for that, bring your own cigarettes.
Right.
Yeah.
That was great. That was crazy, man. Wow.
Now, the Malcolm Butler play against the Seattle Seahawks. You was on that team, and they said Malcolm got burnt on that play in practice several times. And, you know, Brandon, I believe, what was your cornerback name? The big physical guy you guys got from Seattle that year on the free agent.
Brandon
Brown.
Yeah.
He blew up that play.
He was a dog.
He blew up that play, and Malcolm was able to jump in there and get that interception. But they said Malcolm got beat. But there's a guy, I know you know the guy, Ernie Adams. They said he used to watch teams' tendencies and what plays they would run at certain times late in the game. All of this played a part in you guys watching the tendency of the Seattle Seahawks on that last play. All of that came into play. What are your take on this?
I mean, I think you hit all the nails on the head right there, just as far as everything that went into the equation to for you to see what that final outcome had looked like. And one thing about, I'll just start with Malcolm, man. Malcolm, he's a gamer. I mean, he always brings every single day when it comes to practice. Don't get me wrong, but he is certainly a gamer. So Malcolm's one of those. I mean, hey, he's just all instinctual. You know, you see it, attack it. You see it, go. Don't second guess yourself. You know, sometimes, especially at the cornerback position, you know, guys, second guess maybe the slightest hitch in their step before they trust what they see, and that could be all the difference in the world between, like I said, an interception or pass breakup, or even just getting beat, right, for 6. And so Malcolm, he's all instinctual. So and then starting with we're going to Browner from there, and Browner, like, yes, he was definitely our enforcer. And so for him to be able to blow up and stifle the receiver the receiver on the line of scrimmage on the play, and it's all about timing for offenses. And so for him to mess up that timing and give Malcolm the that half a step that he needed. And again, the Ernie, man, that's just I would say New England that's probably another thing that a lot of teams are just maybe just jealous, envious of, is that New England's always been ahead of the curve when it came to analytics, because analytics wasn't, a big thing until maybe 10 years ago or so. Started really.
That's Belichick again, man.
That's all everybody talk about now is analytics in football.
Hey, listen, I didn't even know what that back 30 years ago, that word didn't even exist.
Yeah, yeah, and that's all Belichick again.
For sure.
For example of his greatness, because they practiced that. Man. And wow, that was a huge play. Now, question, regarding Malcolm Butler. Do you know what happened in the Philly game?
Man, but I say, man, y'all want all the tea, huh?
Yeah, man, come on.
Give us a scoop. What happened in the Philly game?
You're not in the league no more. Tell us. Come on,
I was in Baltimore. I was in Baltimore at that time now. So man, you got to ask guys who's on the roster then.
Yeah, but it goes throughout there. The people in the league know what's up there. You can tell us.
So you say we got a group chat right now. But.
Yeah. Man, I mean, people still don't know what happened, man. But Malcolm was that dude, and when Belichick first put him out there on the field, man, I just saw it automatically. He was always there when the ball was thrown his way. He was just there.
Now, Kyle, I want to ask you, where were you at when he intercepted that pass? Were you on the sidelines? Were you on the field? And what was your reaction personally?
I was on the sideline that play, and actually I had a rougher day at the office, unfortunately, in that in that game. So Malcolm, we were kind of splitting time at that point, and Malcolm came in, and again, to his credit, man, he was ready. He was ready to go, and I just had a big sigh of relief because I gave up a couple big plays in the first half where I was just kind of like down on myself, wanting to know a bit about even put our team in a situation like that. And so when Malcolm, he came in and like I said, made the play, secured the win for us. So I think everybody just was able to take a breath. At that point, and just really just take it all in. And then we went out there, took a knee, the confetti starts falling, and that moment became real.
I tell you what, as a Patriot fan, I still like seeing Richard Sherman's reaction.
That game period.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, as a competitor, or just everybody, we want to go out there and win, and my hats off to Sherman and those guys. I mean, they had a heck of a team, but I mean, hey, at the end of the day, somebody got to win it, and I would
That's
rather
right.
it be us.
That's right.
That's a classic meme nowadays too, man.
Oh, hey, my man was disgusted, man. So and here's the other thing. Here's the other thing I can tell you guys is that one thing Belichick, we always got some good gems from Belichick. One thing he always said that will always stick with me is that most teams in tight football games, most teams lose games than teams go out there and win football games.
Yes.
So I think that might have been a classic example of that, because if you have a first and goal at the 1 yard line, and you have the best short distance back, arguably, in the league at the time. I mean, you don't give it to him. I mean,
four times at least.
Yeah. Hey, if I'm peaking, I'm giving it to him 4 times. I'm just saying what kind of football team we got at this point, and we can't punch it in with 4 opportunities. I mean, we don't deserve to win.
Well, let's fast forward to the Atlanta Super Bowl. If Matt Ryan dropped back the pass instead of running the ball, and I believe it was Hightower sacked him and pushed him out of field goal range. So that's an example of what Bill's talking about, teams losing the game.
For sure. And you said all across football oftentimes. And so that's the thing, that another thing that separates Bill from with those New England teams, but even Bill more so than a lot of other coaches, is that he just harps situational football. And now, again, situational football is a thing that is just a word that's overused at this point, that you hear a lot of what analysts or commentators saying now during football games. But that was something 20 years ago, 20, 30 years ago as well. Bill talked about, harped on the preach, is situational football. We would just work on situations the whole day. We would work on red zone, maybe the whole practice. We would work on third down, the whole practice. Got to have it, an entire practice, special teams, an entire practice, because when those situations come up in a game, that we are prepared. We're prepared for it, and we can go out there and execute.
Do you feel like, because you guys worked on this stuff so much, when it came up in the game, it was second nature?
For sure. And that's one of the things that Bill wanted it to be, is because it's two pillars that he would two pillars that made up his DNA as a coach. I would say it would be preparation and mental toughness. And so I just talked about the preparation, right? Everything that we went through ad nauseum as far as situations. And then when it came to the mental toughness component, he would do things. I mean, it could be it could be cold, it could be negative 10 degrees outside, and we could be playing in Miami, the next day. It doesn't matter. Bill wants to see what kind of football team, or what kind of attitude we would have going out there to practice in those conditions. He would pour. It could be pouring. It could be snowing, and he's pouring water or putting Vaseline on a football, and dare the offense to mishandle the ball. Or he would punish whatever kind of punishment he would come up for him. But things like that, to make things as tough as possible. Therefore, when the game comes, to your point, it becomes second nature.
Now you played for Bill Belichick. You also played for Jim Harbaugh. Now, what's the difference, or how far apart are they in terms of? I mean, they're both good coaches, but is it like night and day?
I was personality-wise, I would say that's probably the biggest difference. Well, probably the biggest difference for Bill and any coach.
The whole league.
Right, but in terms of, I remember my first training camp in Baltimore. We probably practiced longer in the high heat of summer than we would in New England. I think Bill's practice would end around maybe 2 hours, 2.5 hours. I think John has out there for a good 3 hours plus. Again, just wanted to see what kind of team he had, who would tap out, things like that. So he was big on mental toughness as well. And I think like Coach Harbaugh too. A lot of coaches out there, they would be chasing Bill, because even when I got there, he would ask me a lot of things of how we did things in New England. A lot of questions of how we did things in New England. So I think a lot of coaches would try to just be chasing Bill as him just being the standard.
Yeah.
So,
now,
ahead,
I'm sorry. Is there a lot of that in terms of, you just mentioned he would ask you about how things are in New England? Now, I guess most teams would do. wouldn't be a bad thing to do. You want to know if you got a player from New England, give me the inside because we got to play them December 4th or whatever the date is. Is there a lot of that goes on when players switch teams?
Oh, for sure, for sure. Yeah, even in my experience, even when I came from Tampa to New England, Bill pulled me to the side and asked me a few questions about schemes and whatnot. So that's just natural.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So constantly, everyone's trying to gain a competitive advantage across the league all the time.
All the time. Monday through Friday and twice on Saturday.
Okay, and that's something that's been going on in pro sports forever.
Yeah, that's across the spectrum, in any sport, just to see what competitive advantage again when it comes to football, hitting yardage as well, just to see and what kind of advantage you can gain. And so, I remember oftentimes Bill would talk and preach about trying to get the study film. And if we had a short week and we got an opponent who also is not coming off a short week themselves, he would say they have a tactical advantage already as it stands. So we're already behind. So we have to watch even more film. So what we watched as a team is not enough. You really have to be watching it when you're home and by yourself as well.
Right.
Yeah, Kyle. Going back to the Super Bowl, as a player, do you prefer the 2-week layoff, or you would prefer to play right after the week following the AFC Championship game? As a player yourself, how do you feel about that?
Man, I think that's actually the first time anyone has asked me a question like that. Oh man, again, maybe that thing about the competitor in me is like, man, just line them all up at once. So let's say the heck with it. After the AFC Championship game, let's go right into the Super Bowl. Let's like it's a round robin or something.
Yeah, because they've done that. There were years that they've done that. It was 1 week, but I think now the 2 weeks they do it, they give teams a chance to heal up, guys to get healthy. Also, they want to promote the game. That's where I think
like the build up.
Yeah, they like the build up. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right. Give it the opportunity to put the best product on display as well. So I do like the build up.
Okay.
All right, let's talk about the Super Bowl now, because Sam Darnold, on a national level, I'm sure everybody looks at him. He's a good quarterback, and he is a good quarterback. But if you're from New England, we look at it a little differently, because when he was with the Jets, we pretty much owned him to the point where he saw ghosts. Seen ghosts. Yeah, he's seen ghosts. So yeah, how do you feel about the Sam Darnold today, as far as the play, his potential this weekend in the Super Bowl versus the Patriots?
I've seen so one thing I will say, I've seen a lot of growth and evolution and in his play, and that's what you want to see out of any player, truth be told, and honestly. But that being the case, there still is, I saw a meme somewhere out there, and I talk about I guess Sam Darnold had a wild stat where he threw didn't throw for a great percentage and like 4 picks. So somebody said, I know that Darnold's still in there somewhere, right? But that could be any quarterback as well. I remember it was in 2009 when I first got to New England, our playoff run. We played the Ravens in the first round, and Suggs and Ray Lewis and those guys, they got out the time. They hit them early, they hit them often. So Tom didn't go out there and have a great performance himself either. So that could really be any quarterback. So it's that puts the emphasis on, and I'm sure Vrabel and the coaches are talking to his guys already about it, as far as getting after Sam early and trying to stay on him often, because if you could get any quarterback to go from their first progression to looking at the rush, that's you're winning. You're playing winning football at that point.
Right. And if I'm a linebacker, I'm gonna get on and be like, yeah, you're gonna see ghosts today, man. I'm telling you, I'm gonna be in his head all day, man. You know what I mean, Rich?
Yeah, exactly. Kyle, what do you think when you look around the league, these quarterbacks like Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, Mac Jones, Daniel Jones, these guys who go out and play bad at the beginning of their career, and then all of a sudden their careers kind of come full circle. Do you believe it's coaching? Do you believe it's the system they're in? How do you feel about that?
I think, man, sometimes it's the stars just have to align I can just think of personally just going off of personal experience. Things didn't work out in Philly, things didn't work out in Tampa, and then I got to New England, and the system made sense, the city made sense, the culture just it all made sense for me. And again a little bit of growth and trial and error. Also on my part. So sometimes it just comes down. It comes down to those things. Life is funny that way, or I should say, even the NFL is funny that way too.
Okay, got you.
Wow. Yeah. So this weekend, man, I mean, all eyes gonna be on that game, and we was talking about the haters earlier, man, because no one expected the Patriots to. I mean, I knew they would be a good team, of course, especially with the acquisition. I thought Drake May, even though we had a losing season last year, I like what I saw in him. So now we're back in the Super Bowl. The haters are out. It's like they've been hiding all this
full force.
Oh my God, man! And then even with the Belichick thing, not to bring up Spygate and Deflategate again, man, but it seems like no one can get away from that. Now with Deflategate, they did the investigation and they came out and said that there was no wrongdoing in the Patriots, and it's like 200 something pages. I suggest folks go read it, which I know they're not, but it also says that every team in the league had deflated balls when the temperature dropped to a certain degree. So I don't even know if players know that they were not deflating footballs.
And in addition to that, it's not as redacted as some other files that are out there floating around.
Right. Yeah, I'm glad you say that.
Nah, I mean, I couldn't help myself. You lied me up for that one. But but no, I think what, winning cures all. And this would be another just great opportunity to test all the noise that's out there. If you're everyone inside that New England locker room. We always talked about just block out the noise and what's the motto been for how long now? Do your job, right? So just you block out the noise, do your job. You got to go out there and then just finish the fight, and then let whoever say whatever they want to say, because ultimately that whether it's football, it's life. All you can really do is can control what you can control. You can't control what nobody else says. You can't control what no one else thinks.
Now, Kyle, you being down there in Ravens country, how often do you wear your Patriot gear around, kind of flaunting it? And do you ever put on that Super Bowl ring at a special event just to kind of flaunt it and feel good about that situation, man? How do you? Do you ever do that with the Super Bowl ring and down that area?
Oh, yeah, I do. It's funny because I took my 11-year-old to the Ravens and Patriots game at M&T during in December when New England came down to Baltimore, and so I had to walk a very let's just say walk a very tightrope. Just being that I play for both teams, but obviously New England was there 6-7 years. Had 2 out of our 3 kids there. Just experienced so much in and with that community. So that will always be
a Super Bowl champion from New England.
Won the Super Bowl there, so that will always be my second home. So I mean, they knew what time it was.
Yeah. Now, when it comes to the game again this Sunday, the Patriots haven't played all that. Well, I'm about to say Mac Jones, but Drake hasn't had the type of playoff run in terms of stats. I think he's due for a good game. Plus, the weather's going to be good. What are your thoughts in terms of what do you expect to see from the Patriots during the Super Bowl?
Man, don't get me to predicting. Outside of the Patriots winning, but as far as score or stats and all that's concerned, right. I think to your point, I think he's overdue for a big game as well. And to kind of put the league on notice, and I think he already has at this point. But I think it just will cement a spectacular year that him and the team have had. So I mean, I'm looking forward, and I'm interested in a good football game. I think it'll be some back and forth like it typically is with New England and Seattle. But ultimately, we gonna prevail at the end.
You being a defensive player, do you see Josh McDaniels coming out of his bag attacking that Seattle defense?
I just going to be a lot of creativity, I should say, in this two bag, and because Seattle is such again a lot of similarities that they remind me with the like the Legion of Legion of Boom, and so with that they were a very aggressive, very fast football team. You try to get as many hard hats to the football, right? That's what you always preach as a defensive mindset. And so with that being the case, playing against teams like that, you try to have as much misdirection in the game plan as possible. So I don't know if I can predict anything. It may be quite a bit of that going on, misdirection, up tempo as well, just so they can sub in and sub out, get into four sets that they're comfortable. Get into matchups, I should say, that they will be comfortable with.
And also, you being a former cornerback, do you see Gonzalez playing like a blanket coverage on their best receiver, the kid out of Ohio State who had about 120 catches this year? Do you see the Patriots just tell Gonzalez shut him down and we'll worry about everybody else?
You know what? I don't think that's out the realm of possibility. That could quite very well be possible, just because I know even in game plan wise, we went out there and said, hey, Revis, you go out there on Baldwin and you just you take him out of the game. And JSN reminds me a lot of Baldwin for Seattle when it comes to every route is in his makeup bag. Can make the spectacular catch, can make the contested catch. And so, yes, he is definitely a force to be reckoned with. So if you can take him out of the scenario of the game plan and not let him beat you and force somebody else to beat you, that's I think that's a game plan. If I were a coach, that I would go with.
All right, before we let you go, I do have a few more questions, man, about your community service, man. I hear you're real big on that, man. So tell me about all that stuff, man.
For sure, no, I appreciate the opportunity. So my wife and I, we just talked to a lot of things I kind of harped on was some of the things about growth, right, about evolution. And so we have our organization called the Evolve Foundation, where we do a lot in the community back in the DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia area, in which my wife and I are from. And a lot of it is predicated towards kids like youth empowerment and development, and particularly in marginalized communities, underserved communities, in the realm of mental health, in the realm of physical health, STEM/STEAM, and youth advocacy and outreach.
Oh, good stuff, man.
Yeah, so very, very proud of the work. So, and we always talk about, even in New England is one thing where I learned that like that foundation, as far as being more than an athlete, more just a pillar on the field, about being a pillar. I think even more importantly, off of the field.
Okay. Is there a website or anything where folks want to help out with that or support it?
Absolutely, for sure. So you can find us at www.theevolvefoundation.org.
All right. Giving back is always a great thing, man. Now I do have to ask you this question. I know you said you didn't want to get into numbers and all of that, man, but you already said you're picking New England. Mm-hmm. Give me a score. Give you a score.
Give you a score. Not my credit score, but give you
not your credit score, man. You don't need credit.
Let's go. I'm going 27-23, New England.
Oh, that's close. I got them 27-20.
27-20. Okay.
27-20. All right. So
we not far.
Where you at, Rich?
Honestly, I like a score like 27-23. I think if we can keep in the 20s and don't let Seattle go up and down the field, I think we're gonna have a very good shot to win this game, man.
And I think our defense is underrated, man. Our defense has been underrated, man. We didn't come into the playoffs where they were talking about our defense. They were talking more about Drake May.
For sure. Yeah. No, for sure. Wait. No time. No time like the big stage to like I said, go and show them show them what we're working with.
No doubt. And I'll say this too. So Matthew Stafford, the way I felt like he was able to do, I wouldn't say he did anything he wanted to do, but they put up a lot of points against Seattle. So I'm sure Josh is looking at those holes. And if our line can hold up, I know Will's been injured, even though they haven't said it, but he's been giving up a lot on that left side. If they can just hold up a little bit, I'm not worried at all. We got Seattle.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's gonna be one thing that you know, like going to go out there this week and try to make it no different than any other week and try to play the best complementary football that we can between offense, defense, and special teams.
Hey man, hey, appreciate your time, man. Looking forward to this big win, and maybe matter of fact, man, I'd love to get you back on after the Super Bowl and let's just talk about the game if you're around.
For sure. Matter of fact, man, and I'll see you guys at the parade.
There you go. There you go.
That's right.
There you go. We'll be in there without coats on, you know, mink coats.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
All right, man. We appreciate you, brother.
All right, Kyle. Thanks.
The pleasure is all mine. Thank you for having me, guys. We're gonna talk soon.
You got it. All right, yes. That's Super Bowl champion Kyle Arrington from the New England Patriots. He was in the New York Giants Super Bowl and the bowl with the infamous interception versus the Seattle Seahawks the last time. So yeah, man, good brother. A lot of good insight on the game and Belichick, as we talked about. You know, and to start things off, we started out with Kraft, who's not also has been snubbed out of the Hall of Fame. I kind of feel like, though, with Kraft, it might have been he heard that Belichick wasn't getting in, and then when they called him to say, because I heard he was getting in at first, and all of a sudden now he's not getting in. If I'm Kraft, after I heard Belichick wasn't getting in, I would have made the call and said, listen, man, don't put me in there. Exactly. If you can't put him in there, I'm not going to show up. You know what I mean?
I mean, Steve, we might look back on this 20, 30 years from now, and this might be like, this is history taking place.
It is.
Belichick, Kraft not getting in the Hall of Fame, and you look at the guys that are in, the coaches that are in, you're looking at the owners that are in. I mean, what are you holding against Kraft? You know?
I mean, the unanswered question is, like, look at Belichick's accolades. And please leave the Spygate out of it, because in the end, that's just a big excuse. If Bill Polian was able to do what he did in preventing him from getting out, you don't think Spygate was created in the same manner? It was. Because when you look at it, if you read the report, it's not as big of a deal as they made it sound. Exactly. They made it sound like this dude, was a spy from Russia or something.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah. So Belichick not in, Kraft not in, and I wouldn't even say Kraft not in because I heard he was getting in, and all of a sudden he's not in. I would have made the call and said, "Yo, don't put me in there."
Well, Steve, the question that I'm asking right now, when Brady's up, which is soon, I think you have to be out the league 5 years.
Yep.
Is Tom Brady going to be a first ballot based on Deflategate?
I mean, that's a good question.
That's a good question. I want to. That's going to be something to really pay attention to.
Yeah, that's a good question because he was involved. He got fined, and even with Deflategate, he was suspended. He was accused of deflating those footballs. We all know what the deal is with that. And to me, it's just strange how they did the investigation, came up with the conclusion, and nobody in the public knows about the conclusion of the investigation, which says they never deflate. Pretty much, it says they never deflated footballs, and that all teams' balls deflated when the temperature dropped to a certain degree, which is the same thing that happens when you got in your car this morning. That light came on with your tires' PSI pressure being lower. So
that's right.
So I don't get that, man. But yeah, man. Thanks, Kyle, once again, man. Looking forward to linking up on that parade because we going to the parade, man. Yeah. So everybody's money's on the Patriots. A lot of events happening. I'm not sure what I'm doing yet, but there's a lot of events happening for Super Bowl.
Not too late to get that Super Bowl, that $7,000 Super Bowl package trip down there, Steve, California, man.
Yeah, the fellas ain't want to do it, but and it's definitely a lot more than it was at the few times I've gone to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And gone to the game. It's much more now, but I definitely would have loved to have gone. And my plan was to go, but
how many Super Bowls have you went to, Steve?
3 Super Bowls, man.
And how about the outcome of all of them?
We won. We lost to Philly, and we won the Rams, which was in Atlanta. Actually, 2-1.
Okay, yep, okay. So you got a winning record, man.
Yeah, got a winning record, man.
Okay, there you go.
That one in Philly, I'll never forget that one because it was so cold in Minnesota.
Yeah.
It was the cold. You know, you think it's cold here in
Yeah, I
Boston
remember
now.
that. And even though, but that was a dome stadium, though.
It was a dome stadium,
But on the outside.
Yep. And the thing about Minnesota, everything is indoors.
Yeah.
Like if you're trying to go in the baseball stadiums is right next door. So when we picked up our tickets, we were inside the dome for Minnesota, and we walked all the way to the baseball stadium to get our tickets. But everything was underground, so we traveled underground.
Minnesota's Super Bowl was criticized simply because they said that you should never play Super Bowls in a cold weather city. Remember, Steve, they had one year at Giants Stadium.
Well, the mistake we made, the Giants Stadium wasn't bad because they lucked up with the weather.
Yeah, they got lucky.
Yeah. The one thing about, I'll say with Minnesota, everything's indoors and you can travel anywhere from that stadium, and you don't even have to go outside. But we were foolish enough to go outside. Yo, let's go here, let's go there. We went outside. I tell you, man, it was the biggest mistake we ever made.
So you're telling me that Minnesota cold is different from this New England cold, huh?
Hell yes.
Okay.
I mean, it was so cold. The folks I was with, I left it.
Yeah.
When we were outside, I ran to the car, man. That's how cold it was, man.
Yeah.
I ran to the car, man. I was like, yo, I'll meet y'all there, man. I'm out, man. It was, yo.
Well, you know, those lakes out there, they freeze about almost 12 inches thick. That's why they could skate on those lakes out there in Minnesota without worrying about the ice cracking. So that lets you know how cold it gets out there.
It was blistering cold. We had tickets to the after party and everything, man, but they ended up losing that game, man.
That was the one against Philly.
That was against Philly when Malcolm Butler didn't play.
So the ones that they won against the Rams, and what was the other one you went to?
The other one was Atlanta. So that
Atlanta.
was
wow.
great.
You was at the Atlanta Super Bowl, Steve?
Let me tell you something, right? Just jumping back to the Rams again. The thing about the Rams game, that was a boring game.
Yes, it was.
It was a boring game to watch, and you know we're there in the stands. Oh no, it's gonna break out. Second half break out. And, you know they ended up winning the game, but what was the linebacker
for the Patriots?
For the Rams.
Oh, Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald was just a monster.
Yes.
And that was Brady's problem that game.
Well, we beat them 13-3.
Right.
But the Rams that year, if you remember, Steve, they had the highest scoring offense in the league.
Right.
Them in Kansas City, because remember that Monday night game when they scored over 100 points between the both of them?
Right.
So you think about it, we shut down a very potent offense, and that was Brian Flores' defense that year.
Right. Yeah. But so yeah, being at that game was, again, it was a boring game, but it was great to be there to see them win that one. And we had a great time, man. That was in Atlanta. And I just tell you, man.
What about the Atlanta game, Steve? After we won that game.
Let me tell you, the Atlanta game, the fellas was just like, they were like, man, the game's over, Steve, man. Let's go. And you know, I tell you, man. But, you know, I'm like, listen, it don't look good. And these were my exact words. It don't look good, but the game ain't over. And just the clock, looking at the clock and all of that stuff. And as they, you know, I kept saying, listen, we need, I forget how many possessions it was at the time, but we need this amount of possessions and we need to get two point conversions. And it was like,
and the math just went perfect.
Everything happened that needed to happen, and to get not one, but to get two point conversions, yo. And then like the sack with the strip sack with Hightower.
That's
it
right.
seemed like everything that was happening.
What about the Edelman catch?
The Edelman catch, that was finally reversed for us, because in the Seattle game and in both Giants game, it was like deja vu. You know, those are the catches that killed us. Remember?
So, Steve, you said the guys you were with was ready to go.
Oh man, the guys they was dogging.
So basically, they did a Mark Wahlberg. Remember, the rumor was he left the stadium, and when he heard the crowd yelling, he came back through the gate.
Right. Yeah, the fellas was done, man. They was done with that game. And
wow.
But again, that was, you talking about two of the biggest Super Bowls in history. You got the Falcons come back, and then you got the Seattle Seahawks with the infamous catch.
So, Steve, let me ask you: the New England fans was down there celebrating after Atlanta win. How was the Atlanta fans walking out that stadium?
Ghost town.
Wow.
Ghost town. It was in the next day. Oh, forget about it. Forget about it.
What everybody that Monday morning?
Nobody went to work.
Nobody went to work.
Nobody went to work, man. And I would have loved to have gone to the Super Bowl. Plus, it's on the West Coast, and the weather-wise, it should be decent from what I hear.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just a great experience, man. And the crazy thing, the first Super Bowl, was it Minnesota the first one? Yeah, I think Minnesota. I believe Minnesota was the first one. So, and I bought those tickets because at the Jacksonville game, when we played Jacksonville at home,
yep,
and we beat Jacksonville.
Yeah, that was a great comeback. We had to come back to win that game.
Yeah, so going into the game, right? Someone offered me a ridiculous amount of money for the tickets.
Wow. And
so I sold the tickets. It was like, I forget what the amount exactly was, but it was several $1,000s.
That was the Jacksonville game.
That was the Jacksonville.
The AFC Championship.
I sold the game, 3 seats. One of my guys was upset, man, but it was all good. And what I did was I said, listen, I'm selling these tickets. We're going to go up to the CBS Cafe, whatever the name of it was, and we watched it. And I just took care of everything.
Yeah.
The drinks, the food, all of that. But I took the money and I bought the tickets to the Super Bowl.
Wow. That was a business decision.
No doubt.
That was a business decision.
He's like, well, I forget what the amount was, but it was a lot of money. It was a lot of money for the 3 seats.
So basically, you flipped that ticket like you flipped them houses, Steve.
There you go. I flip everything, man, to be honest with you. I flip everything.
That's right, man.
You got $1, I'll tell you how to turn it into 2. Straight up. But yeah, man. But listen, man. Yeah, 27-20. That's where I think Mac. I keep saying Mac. Why does his name keep coming up? But I think Drake May is gonna have a good game, and folks is gonna see why Drake May is an MVP candidate. That's what I see for the Super Bowl. I think the weather's gonna be good. It was unfortunate during the 2 playoffs games we did have. They were in cold and inclement weather.
I really didn't mind it, Steve.
I didn't mind it at all.
I did not mind the bad weather because you know what? The bad weather, what that does, that eliminates some of the strengths of the other team.
To be honest, for us, the bad weather is like the 6th man.
That's right. I mean, especially against the Houston Texans.
Right.
That bad weather helped tremendously with even though that defense still came at us, Drake May threw for 3 touchdown passes in that game.
He did.
The Denver weather, oh man, Steve, that came into play. I mean, think about it. We won that game 10-7. Remember the late field goal by Denver? That wind just pushed that ball to the right. So that weather, not a problem.
Let's talk about the Denver game real quick because Sean Payton pretty much fired his coaching staff.
Fired his offensive coordinator.
Yep, and his offensive coordinator said he was clearly having a bad day. How do you make the AFC Championship and fire your coaching staff?
Well, Sean Payton made the call in that game not to kick that field goal that would have put Denver up 10-0.
Yes.
And I don't know if you know, Steve, he's throwing a lot of shade. I can show you the clip. He's throwing shade at Bo Nix now. He's saying that Bo Nix had an injury coming from college, and he wished he knew about it. And allegedly, the doctor said it was only a matter of time before Bo Nix break that bone in his ankle.
Right. Yeah, I've been hearing that, and that's why Bo Nix came out with his own press conference.
Yeah.
Through Zoom.
So that's going to be interesting going forward next year, how these two guys get along.
And I think, if you go back to Russell Wilson, if I'm a player, I don't want to play for Sean Payton.
Well, you got to remember, Steve, remember Bountygate?
Yeah.
When he got suspended for a year
for
putting a bounty on NFL players, Sean Payton's not really liked around the NFL.
Seems like he should, Belichick just, they're mad at him for his success.
Yeah.
The genius he is, but Sean Payton.
Yeah, Sean Payton's not a well-liked coach around the league. Since Bountygate, when he was suspended for a year, he had to pay a fine. So, I mean, but yeah, you putting your quarterback out there like that and you fire your offensive coordinator after you made the call not to kick the field goal and go for it on 4th and 1.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm surprised the owner haven't like really stepped into the situation. You're putting your star quarterback out there.
Yeah, and again, not just that. I just feel like, man, this is another example. The way he treated Russell Wilson, in public at that. You know what I'm saying? He's doing the same thing with Bo Nix. So this is 2 quarterbacks now. So why would you, as a quarterback or even as a player, want to play for someone that at the end of the day, he'll put you out there. He'll put you out there. This is the second time. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, we're going to wrap it up, y'all. Again, want to thank Charleah Torres for the advice on losing weight. I think that was a great segment. With it being Super Bowl week, folks. Hey, listen, you can eat chicken. You can eat whatever you want. It's all about moderation and how you cook it. And I think she said she baked the chicken. So
That's right.
Or no, she air fried.
Hey, like I say, use Super Bowl Sunday as your cheat day.
Right. That's your cheat day. So we out of here, folks. We'll do it again on Tuesday. We'll be talking about the Super Bowl, of course. We might even come back on Monday. You know what? I think we're going to Monday. Can you come in on Monday?
Hey, listen, Steve, if we win, man, Monday, we be here.
Yeah. If we win Monday, no, we're going to win. We'll be here Monday.
That's right.
Otherwise, if we ain't hit Monday, that's not good. All right, we out, y'all. Yeah. Enjoy your day. Urban Heat.
Wow, see, yes.